Before the EU referendum, Boris Johnson was the bombastic, outspoken, charismatic Tory who had governed a Labour-leaning capital city for 8 years. Like political honey, he had a unique ability to entice non-conservative voters to jump ship. Then on the 21st of February 2016, the former London mayor came out in favour of Britain leaving the EU, and almost overnight he was transformed into political Marmite. By the start of this year's snap election campaign, Conservative Party internal research, carried out by Sir Lynton Crosby's company, painted a clear picture. Johnson had become a divisive figure. Yes, he had the power to lure and leave voters, often in traditionally working class, Labour areas. But elsewhere he was seen as a toxic figure. And if there is one thing that lights the touchpaper among voters already suspicious of figures such as Johnson, it is the key promise that many believe helped deliver the Brexit vote: £350 million a week for the NHS. Wrong with the claim that the UK sends the EU £350 million a week. Hide the claim that Britain sends the EU £350 million a week is wrong, because the rebate negotiated by Margaret Thatcher is removed before anything is paid to Brussels. In 2014, this meant Britain actually sent £276 million a week to Brussels. In 2016, the figure was £252 million. Slightly less than half that sum. The money that Britain is sent to the EU either comes back to the UK to be spent mainly on agriculture, regional aid, research and community projects, or gets counted towards the country's international aid target. Regardless of how much the UK saves by leaving the EU, the claim that a future government would be able to spend it on the NHS is highly misleading, because it assumes the government would choose to spend on the NHS the money it currently gets back from the EU, £115 million a week in 2014, thus cutting funding for agriculture, regional development and research by that amount. It assumes the UK economy will not be adversely affected by Brexit, which many economists doubt. Was this helpful? Thank you for your feedback, all of which helps explain why the Foreign Secretary may have revisited this particular claim, to defend himself against what he considers unjust attacks.